You're watching Pitch Up with the Pates, and join us today as we take a look at this 2023 Coachman Laser 545 Xtra. Okay then, so let's take a look inside. You can instantly see the extra width of this 8-foot wide Coachman caravan. So this is the Laser 545, the 2023 model. Really spacious L-shaped lounge. One of the things we really like about this particular caravan is the fact that Coachman have kept the side window, which other manufacturers tend to turn into a media wall, but we do like to sit and look out the side windows when we're on holiday, and having that still there and the ability to have a TV on the side is a great move by Coachman. There's lots of connectivity below for your TV, so you've got a 230 volt electric point, so you've got a plug socket and a satellite point and the TV aerial, and then you'd have your TV on the side there. So instantly you can see the appeal in the front lounge of this Coachman luxury caravan. So the Laser range used to sit at the top of the Coachman caravan range prior to the launch of the Lusso and the Lusso 2, which is why these caravans have such a premium feel. So this particular caravan's priced at 39,830, so just under 40,000, and that doesn't include air conditioning if that was something that you wanted to add, or the EMP hydraulic auto leveling. So they're things that you would have to consider adding if you did want to put them onto this caravan. It's not necessarily something you would have to do. So we did actually look at this caravan when we were shopping around, as the weight of this caravan is just over 1700 MTPLM. So it's 1734, so it was just within our towing ability with the Mercedes. So when we were looking at the Conqueror 580, the Swift Conqueror that we purchased a few months ago now, we actually considered this caravan, and the reason we didn't go for it was just the deal wasn't right. So we actually spoke about a part exchange with our previous caravan at the show in October at the NEC, and we did consider this caravan. However, the Swift Conqueror, we got a far better part exchange for our previous Swift Freestyle, so we decided to go with that particular caravan, and no regrets. We really like the Conqueror. However, we definitely have got a soft spot for this Coachman Laser 545 Xtra. It is 8 foot wide. That's one of the considerations we had to make, with the Conqueror being 7'6". Going to Cornwall in the summer, we had to really think about whether 8 foot wide would be an issue. We still weren't sure, so even now, never towed an 8 foot wide caravan. So let us know in the comments below, has it ever been an issue for you? We're still not sure whether or not it would be, but we were very tempted by this caravan. It's got a real nice finish. You've got curtains on the side windows and front, whereas a lot of the manufacturers now are going for the soft furnishing wall pads rather than the curtains. So if you do like the traditional curtains, then it would appeal. Really wide sunroof on this at the front, almost the full width of the front of the caravan, with the roof light just behind. So it's a really light and bright place to be. You've got the speakers for the stereo in the corner, and you've also got the wireless charging on the front shelf, so the fast charge wireless charging, light switches, and your 230 volt on one side, and you've got the switches on the other for the lighting also. So lots of options in terms of where you would put your TV. Perhaps you could put it on the front still, however the obvious place would be here, just because of that connectivity. And really like the fact that you can hide your cables. It's almost got one of those desk tidies, cables go down. Really neat. That's one of the issues that we had with the previous caravan, and the bracket that we had, it was cable management, and it took me, you know, some weeks to figure out the best way to sort of keep it all tidy without having cables, HDMI cables, aerial cables, power cables and what have you everywhere. So you've got the lockers above, they're shelved on each side of the lounge. It's split on this side, which I really like. I always like smaller lockers and cupboards where you can organize your things rather than just one large one. So you tend to sort of stuff everything in a larger locker where you can actually organize when they are smaller. So this is, for me, a real test of the workmanship on these Coachman caravans. So we were talking about cable management, but look at that, it's really nice, neat, tidy cable management there of the Vision Plus TV amplifier. So all the aerial connections, you've got your main aerial there as well. But just look at that cable management, it's just so neat and tidy. So I really like that. That shows that whoever made this caravan, whoever was involved in building the caravan, took some pride in what they did. So yeah, that really pleases me. Really good sign of the caravan's well made. So you've got soft closing lockers also. Really like these as well, these small cupboards at the front. They just lift the lockers. Again, really useful. No open shelves where things are going to fall out, so you can travel with things in there. But yeah, good little space for putting, probably we'd put our dog lead, harness, bits and pieces in there. And then in there I'd probably stick maybe just some easy grab sort of tools, torch, stuff like that in that one. But yeah, really nice quality small lockers at the front. So it's that attention to detail with Coachman that you tend to see. Everything's really well thought out. You've got lighting in the front. This isn't switched on at the moment, but you've got the touch switches on there, which is really nice to see. So you've got lighting in all the corners here of the lounge area. So the bed slats pull out to make up a good sized double bed, and that's really easy to do. Really easy and really sturdy, well made, feels very solid. So again, really fills you with confidence that this is a well made, well thought out caravan. And just slots away, that's one handed, slots back under neatly out of the way. Okay, so that's the front lounge area. Really nice place to be. Love the colour of the furnishings. So real nice grey, soft feel. And we'll move over then to the kitchen area. The kitchen area is a real nice place to be. It's light and bright with the roof light above. Really like the choice of worktop here. It's almost got a domestic style feel to it. Really nice quality. You've got a good size extending side worktop as well, so for preparation space you've got lots and lots of room. Got the underfixed sink, stainless steel, which again gives it that real domestic look. Lots of storage below and above, so you've got positive catches, really big locker above the sink to store your plates, cups, and possibly get your pans in there as well. It's a really large area. Got an extra plug as well just up to the side, 230-volt socket. Got the storage below, again positive catches, and the pull out drawer with lots of storage on there on the shelves. So again, it's got a real domestic feel to it. It oozes quality, really nice place to be. So you're certainly not compromising in this kitchen area when it comes to storage and space. Again, positive catches, cutlery drawer, drawer below, and a larger pull out, so it's deep but not quite as long there on the bottom. And then you've got a fold down just under the Thetford oven grill. So moving on then to the Thetford oven grill, so it is separate, which is good to see. Again, really great quality. You can see where some of the weight in this caravan comes from with the choice of materials and appliances used. Dual fuel hob, which we really use quite frequently on our new Swift Conqueror 580. We underestimated sort of the importance of having a hot plate, and the electric hot plate for us is something we have used on all our recent holidays. We tend to run everything off electric if possible rather than the gas, so it's real good to see that, and you would expect it on a caravan of £40,000. But yeah, really nice quality, great feel to it. Above then you've got the extractor, so no need for an omnivent. You could potentially put an air conditioning unit just above the kitchen area there, as you have this extractor, and just above there you've got the Russell Hobbs microwave. So it still is the style with a plate, but no major issue in a caravan. It's more of a consideration for motorhomes perhaps, where you're hopping from site to site more often. But yeah, nice microwave, really nice kitchen area. Lots of space. And just behind you've got the Dometic tall electronic fridge freezer with the double opening. It's the same fridge freezer that we have in our Swift Conqueror, so it has the internal compartment for the freezer, lots of space in there. It is slimline, so it's not quite as spacious as having separates, but to date we've not found an issue with the space we have in our Dometic slimline fridge freezer. You've got storage below, so that could be another option for your pans for the kitchen. Could also be a good place to put shoes. And then this is great to see, so just on the end here you've got a small shelf with 230-volt socket, USBs, and the light switch above. But the great thing here is that your main dining table is just in that small cupboard to the side, so when you're pulling that out, it's literally got no room to travel to put that in your lounge area, whereas some of the caravans we've been looking at previously have the table under the fixed bed perhaps. So if it's a rear island bed, some of the Baileys, they tend to have the table under the fixed bed at the rear, or some of the manufacturers tend to put them in the rear washrooms. But Coachman have really thought about this, and it's literally next to the lounge area where it would be destined to be used. So this is possibly one of our favourite kitchen areas in recent caravans that we've been viewing. We've had the opportunity to look at the new Swift Elegance Grande range, and that includes the 835, the 845 and the 850. But even seeing those in the recent days and having an overview, and we've vlogged those, so take a look at our channel. We have covered those 323 Elegance Grande models. This really does stand out. It's a different class, and this is on a £40,000 caravan, which is becoming more common in recent years, particularly since COVID. Prices have started to rise, and they've continued to rise. So spending £30,000–40,000 on a caravan is becoming the norm. All the manufacturers are setting those prices now as the norm. Okay, let's go and have a look at the mid washroom. With this being an 8 foot wide caravan, the mid washroom really benefits from that extra space. So it's got a good size walk through to get to the lounge area and the rear bedroom, and it also enables a really generous shower to be installed. There is intrusion from the wheel arch, which could be an issue, but there is still a good amount of standing space despite that intrusion. You've got areas to put your toiletries, soap, shower gels, and it is a really nice looking shower cubicle. It's a really nice place to be. You've got the spotlight above. There is no roof light immediately above, but you have got the one in the centre, so you'd probably pop that open when you were showering. Would have been possibly good to see an omni vent there, as we've seen in some of the recent caravans that we've been looking at. However, you could just pop that open and that would solve that issue with any steam condensation. If we shut this door, then this closes off the washroom area. And then we're able to go through into the Thetford cassette toilet, wash basin. You've got a Alde ladder radiator, so this caravan has wet central heating. Got a cupboard above for storage. It is quite shallow, but you would get your toiletries and everything you need in there. Maybe a bit shallow for a toilet roll, perhaps for spares. Got a robe hook. Got the towel hoop there. Storage underneath the sink, underneath the wash basin. Again, a shelf would have been nice in there just to finish that off. Got a storage area to the side, and that huge mirror with the spotlight above. You have got a roof light and the frosted window, so it's good to see a window in the washroom, which manufacturers at the moment don't tend to be installing. Yeah, that's really good. Quite often we don't see that now in washrooms, but quite a nice bright space to be, despite the darker wood grains used, and the darker wood grains really give this a touch of class. And then if we just spin behind, you've got the sliding door here that goes into the rear bedroom, and that seals off this area. There is a slight issue when the doors are shut, as there is a gap in the hinge side of this door, so it's just missing some trim there just to close that off. So if privacy was an issue, if you had friends, family staying over in the caravan, with this being a 4-berth, that gap is adjacent there to the toilet. So that's something that you might want to look at or speak to the dealer about. It's fitting something just to cover that area. Okay, let's go through then into the bedroom. So the bedroom is a really light, spacious place to be, with this single axle caravan being 8 feet wide, but you've got windows both to the near side and the off side, and you've got the hecky roof light above, which really fills this area with light. And again, despite the darker wood grains used, it's not an issue with the amount of light being thrown into this area. So you've got these blind trims, so these don't actually drop, this is just aesthetic. So it's similar to what Swift are using with their fabric side panels, but it just lifts the area rather than just being a cutout for the window. Would be nice perhaps if they were curtains, or if that blind did actually drop down. But this rear island bed has lots of storage underneath, so when we were looking at potentially purchasing this caravan, we like the fact that it's got plenty of space under there to store our chairs, so our Isabella Thor chairs and our Dometic waterproof table. With the frame in place there for the bed, it would be slightly more challenging perhaps than our current transverse island bed, just to sort of navigate that in, simply because there's no access through outside lockers, so there's no hatches to actually access the underbed area from the outside, which is a shame. So that's one of the things that we didn't like about this underbed storage, was the fact we couldn't access it from either the side or the rear of the caravan. Don't think it would have been a deal breaker, but it was something that we wish it perhaps would have had, and it was a consideration perhaps from Coachman, or they may consider it for future ranges in the years to come. But yeah, with a fixed bed you do have the bonus of underbed storage. Coachman also seem to have the extension bolster piece slightly larger than others, which means when the bed is in day mode, as you can see, there's lots and lots of space to walk around this bed. It's not a tight place to navigate, so that's one thing we really notice with this over perhaps some other manufacturers, is that Coachman tend to use that larger extension bolster piece, which does give you lots more walking space. There's lots of storage in terms of a wardrobe either side of the bed, rail above, it's nice and deep as well. Got a shelf to the front, shelves below, 230 volt to the side there of the bed, and then on the opposite side you've got again storage underneath, and you've also got another deep wardrobe, so it's great that you've not got to share wardrobe space. It's really positive to see. You've got speakers underneath the lockers above the bed, and also you have your spotlights with USB charging ports as well, which you possibly would need because there is a lack perhaps of power around the bed area. It would have been good to see perhaps a few more sockets around this space. That's another thing that we did notice, but it's good to see that they are up on the spotlights. And you've also got these pockets where you tuck in your phone, tablets, etc. whilst they're charging. So that's a really nice touch and well thought out from Coachman also. So you've got the lockers above, good size, and because the bed is slightly shorter due to that extension piece being larger, you can access these very, very easily without having to reach over an awful lot. So again, they are soft closing. I'm just pushing those shut, but they are soft closing lockers again. Got your TV point, 230 volt, 12 volt power, and your aerial. And there's also the provision there for the TV bracket. So that'd be an area that you could fit possibly maybe a 19-20 inch TV at most. So really nice space. And you just close that sliding door across in an evening, and with it being a sliding door, it doesn't take up any additional space. So yeah, we really like this, and it's one of the selling points of this particular caravan was, despite it having an end bedroom and a mid washroom, it still felt open and spacious. So you've got the main controls above the door for your water pump, lighting, and the Alde central heating. We really like the Alde central heating in our Conqueror 580. Kept us really warm over Christmas when we went away to Chatsworth and Clumber Cam sea sites. The caravan was set to 21 degrees and it didn't struggle to meet that requirement. Takes a little while to heat up, so it's a little bit slower than blown air, but once it gets there, after a couple of hours, it does hold the heat really, really well. So that's the interior of this Coachman Laser 545 Xtra. Let's go and take a look outside. So moving outside then with the Coachman Laser 545 Xtra, we can see that it is fitted as standard with Alco ATC trailer control. You've got the Alco hitch head stabilizer, as we'd expect to see. Got those distinctive Coachman front lockers on either side of the front of this caravan, very unique to Coachman caravans when we look at other manufacturers perhaps and how they utilise that front space. It's that big sunroof area on the front of the caravan, and it's very clear that it's 8 foot wide, so it has a real presence about it. It's a very good looking caravan. And for a single axle caravan, it has lots and lots of space, with this being the Xtra model, the 8 foot wide. So you've got your external gas point. These are the Whale sliding covers Really like those, so there'll be no flapping about when they start to break or have any issues, etc. We've had one in our previous caravan where it came loose whilst we were towing, whereas you wouldn't have that issue with these. So gas, that's your 230 volt electric. Got the weight plate there, as you can see, the MTPLM 1734. No diamond cut alloys that we're seeing on a lot of 23 models from other manufacturers. Specifically Swift at the moment seem to be favouring diamond cut alloys. It's really set off their caravans well. Access there for your cassette toilet. That frosted window for the washroom. But really nice looking caravan. What's your thoughts on the rear panel of the Coachmans? Does the rear panel match the premium look of the front, or is it slightly mismatched? I guess you don't spend a lot of time looking at the rear of a caravan. Yeah, it does feel like it is missing something from that centre area, maybe some decals possibly, just to lift it. It's a very white rear panel. Guess it's subjective to the individual, the eye of the beholder. Okay, so we'll work around the other side of the caravan. So one thing we noted when we were looking at this particular model was the lack of access from outside into the caravan itself. So that is the one and only storage access hatch that goes underneath the L-shaped lounge. So there's no access to the bed from the rear or the side of the caravan. This caravan does come fitted with shock absorbers, which we found really aids towing stability. And here you've got your inlet for your aqua roll, and also for the onboard water tank for filling that. And again, these slide. It's a really simple operation. We really like those. The Whale system is really simple, effective, and there's not a lot to go wrong with that. And then you've got your outlet there for your Alde central heating. And there we have it. It's the Coachman Laser 545 Xtra 2023. Let us know what you think in the comments below. What's your thoughts on this luxury single axle 8-foot wide caravan from Coachman? Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.